Folks, I guess it's true what they say. Anything can happen in the RWA if you just believe. I mean, we've all been hoping that Bobby Rossi finally gets out of the studio since he's been living here since we got it. There's an odor, and that hat, I'm pretty sure, is an actual creature. But we'll let that stand the way it is. But was that my eyes or deceiving me, or was that RWA's version of the Shield? I mean, you saw AJ Punk, you saw Adam the Superstar, and T Phoenix with the two. You know what? That was ADD moment. I'm going to leave that alone. But the big announcement of the night is Liz B coming out and saying that the television championship will be on the line next week in a triple threat match. The sure shot, the #1 contender, Damian Black, will take on Amanda Fox and the television champion, Mike Grassa. Who knows what could happen with that? That's why you need to watch us here on YouTube, on Rhode Island Public Access Television, anywhere, because RWA is the up-and-coming company in Rhode Island and in New England for professional wrestling. Not sports entertainment, folks, professional wrestling, and it is here in Rhode Island. But our main event is on the way. The Minutemen take on the student body who learned a lesson a couple of weeks ago in how to handle pain. Let's kick it back to ringside with the always pithy, the mouth, Mike Mifflin, and Clemson Cadiddlehopper.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bobby Rossi, and I am reporting live on behalf of the Renegade Wrestling Alliance. Beside me are former RWA Tag Team Champions in the student body. And gentlemen, it has been said that the two of you are nothing more than just a dirty, low-down pair of cheats. Tonight, at our RWA Chop Shop, you will be faring off up against a well-established tag team known as the Minutemen. Your thoughts?
Is that really such an intelligent question to ask, Bobby Rossi? Really? After the beating that we took down last week, in a glorified beatdown that shouldn't even be considered a match, getting cheated out of our tag team titles, and we're the cheats.
Oh, you were definitely out of your element.
Oh, no, it's completely irrelevant.
Which means it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Nick. We're done being cheated by the so-called ladies of management. We're done with these unscrupulous hijinxes. But that's a story for another day. Tonight, the Minutemen, a tag team that caused us to break up in the first place, you're darn right we're coming back. You're darn right that tonight is the night that we redeem ourselves for Legacy 5. Now, while we may not be in the best physical condition, the fact of the matter is, Bobby Rossi, our mental superiority will be the deciding factor this time.
Which means, Bobby Rossi, we will win, and they will lose.
Well, folks, you heard it here first. Hopefully, Mr. Hunter can lead his two gents under the right side of guidance. RWA fans, this contest is scheduled for one fall and has a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, Jack Connor and Nick Varsity come in at a combined weight of 387 pounds. Jack Connor and Nick Varsity both hail from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Jack Connor and Nick Varsity are being accompanied to the ring under the guidance of Mr. Hunter. Jack Connor and Nick Varsity are the student body.
Jack Connor has gotten a little out of hand with his requests and how their team is introduced. Bobby Rossi giving in to their demands, I guess. You see both of them still suffering the ill effects of their street fight where they lost the tag team championship to the Hollywood Balls 2 weeks ago. We heard Jack Connor and Nick Varsity's pre-recorded comments just moments ago. This is a Legacy 5 rematch, and the student body are going to look to gain a measure of revenge for the loss they suffered last July. As my colleague shimmied over to the table. You like this song, do you?
I'm quite the fan of The Offspring, if I must admit this on the air. And kudos to Tommy Trainwreck for pulling a little bit of double duty here tonight at our RWA Chop Shop, being part of a hellacious triple threat and taking on the likes of the student body. Not to be taken lightly, what they lack in size, they make up for in smacks.
Smacks.
Smacks. They're wicked smack. I mean, they are from Cambridge. Both of which. And kudos to Justin O'Gara, this young referee. He's learning as he's doing, if you will, on-the-job training. Not fearful of any of it, though. I tip my hat to him.
Would that be that very same hat that Rob Masse called a creature?
I have a collection of hats. He could be referring to any one of them.
By the way, we got to get word to him. I know he's kind of barricaded himself inside that studio, but he keeps sending it off to me and Mifflin, and he's got to let him know that Mifflin's MIA this week.
Mike is handling very important business at the bar, as is Devin Blaze driving down Connor to a...
That's sort of an oxymoron, handling important business at a bar. It's like woman's logic. No comment.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one, folks. As Jack Connor eluded a pinfall here. Oh, Blaze only getting a 2 count.
Devin Blaze looking for the handshake and Connor slapping it away. And that seemed to have angered Devin Blaze. Not taking too kindly to that disrespectful gesture by Jack Connor.
Oh, and he is just hockey shirting him to hell. He is not going to... He's not going to allow the bits of clothing to take on any brunt of those chops. Woo! O'Gara showing a little bit of authority.
Side headlock by delicious Devin Blaze here.
I don't know about you, but I got a problem calling another man delicious. It might say so on his card, but it just doesn't sit well with me.
I didn't say I was a fan of it. I was just calling him what the young man asked to be called.
And that's not going to feel good, seeing as how those ribs are still bruised up from their bash up against the Hollywood Balds.
They've got to be practically broken inside after that street fight. Now that both members of the Minutemen have Connor backed into the corner. It looked like they were going to take turns, but apparently not. Rapid fire chops now to Jack Connor.
And a back chop just for good measure. Snap-maring him, getting him to the middle of the ring. I'm not sure where Trainwreck's going with this. I'd say use your weight, big man. Lean into a nice heavy chin lock, and you could get the young scholar to tap out. That's right, I said scholar. Tag by Devin Blaze, both the Minutemen here.
And there's the double team I expected from the Minutemen.
Chop suey.
Jack Connor, perhaps wondering why he didn't shake the hand of Devin Blaze and slapped it away. The Minutemen obviously well versed in tag team wrestling, sending a message to the less experienced of the two teams, the student body.
You know, I'll tell you what Devin Blaze does not allude to in any of his interview is the fact that he actually has himself a solid martial arts background. And you could see it in many of his maneuvering capabilities and how he throws his own body around the ring. He provides the sense of impact that a frame of his size wouldn't normally have. makes that momentum happen one way or another. And a pinfall. Nick Varsity quick to break it up.
After some double team action by the Minutemen, we saw Devin Blaze coming from the outside in and Tommy Trainwreck following it up with that leg drop. Connor's going to need to find himself a tag very soon. He's beginning to look a little like TJ Swift was moments ago. Except the Minutemen probably don't nearly weigh as much as FMB. He just calls him Justin Bieber. Nick Varsity coming to the aid of his partner to break up that pinfall.
And I think tagging up with Jack Connor, a little bit of the astuteness has rubbed off on him. While he is known as the jock and the brawn of this team, he has been there to make the save countless times. And we've seen it 3 or 4 times so far in this matchup alone.
Well, as you may know, taking gym class is necessary to pass in high school.
I had a note for all 4 years.
Well, I figured as much. But Nick Varsity helping Connor in gym class and vice versa, with Connor helping Varsity and all his other academics, and that, you know, one hand washes the other, so to speak. I'm about to be brought in the hard way. Quite the elevation on that.
Welcome to the mat, Mr. Varsity. All right, O'Gara, I'd suggest keeping the legal Minuteman in the ring. They're not listening to your count, youngster. Let's go.
Something that's going to come in time. He'll learn to assert himself more often.
Not to sell him short, he's done a solid job so far.
Oh, yes, of course.
A little fine-tuning is all. And speaking of fine-tuning, they are finally tuning up Nick Varsity in the corner, also giving him the old hockey shirt treatment. Just being a pair of brutes at this point, maybe dishing out a little bit of what the student body likes to dish out. What do we have going on here?
Devin Blaze just took the shirt of Nick Varsity, and well, there you see where it was.
He's trying to give it the Downey touch.
Oh, well, yes, it was certainly the Downey touch. It was down there. Hard into the buckle. Goodness gracious. Great balls of fire.
High knee, knocking his jaw loose. Looks like we got a double hip toss going and almost outside of the ring, let alone to the other side of it.
All Minutemen early on in this one. We're about 5 minutes in here.
Trainwreck going for a suicide dive and stopped short by Jack Connor. There he's going over the top, springboard. Springboard tumble saw brings both of members of the student body down to the ground, and I think firing up would sell this short. Oh, and a senton for an exclamation point, and a little victory lap, if you will. Don't get ahead of yourself, Blaze. This match is yet to be over.
Well, Connor had the right idea moments ago, trying to stop that dive, but too little, too late, I suppose, because the Minutemen were right on top of it.
Trainwreck driven hard into the buckle.
Oh, did you see that on the corner of the screen? Varsity moving the referee out of position.
That is not how to use your books.
He threw the book at him, though.
To say the least. Mr. Hunter being more than just a guidance counselor, judge, prosecution, and jury. Wow, he's not even trying to hide it. He is blatantly choking him right in front of the referee.
Taking advantage of this young referee, too. Maybe calling his bluff.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, being a young referee, do you really want to be responsible for throwing out this match or causing a disqualification in such a high-profile match where there could be contenderships for the tag team championships on the line?
Well, you raise very good points here, Clemson, but I'll tell you, as the sense of authority inside the ring, sometimes it's upon you to make that judgment call. Sometimes you got to go ahead and shoot that disqualification. I mean, we've got 2 directors of competition. I'm sure they could find between the wins and loss records as to who belongs where within contention. But nonetheless, very, lot going on in your mind when you're refereeing a match, to say the least.
Wheelbarrow position. Connor being dropped in that splash right on Trainwreck.
A little slow to get that count going, but it still looked like a 2 to me.
Well, Trainwreck having wrestled already tonight, being into the ring now, taking this assault from Student Body, doesn't bode well for the Minutemen.
Now you got Jack Connor using the tape that was once around his ribs, around the neck of Trainwreck, backing him into his corner, their corner rather, the corner of the body. I'll tell you, the varsity for the supposed jock has got himself quite the tuba gut there. Not even a 2-pack on the young fella. Some conditioning is clearly in order. That's right, the pot is calling the kettle fat. And whoa! Goodness gracious, what? Got a 2 count after that vicious spine buster.
And now the trademark choke. The Student Body really showing that the Minutemen can dish it out, and so can they. Now maneuvering Trainwreck's body back into their corner here. Tag to Jack Connor.
I don't think, yeah, there you go, that's it. You're not going to get him up by yourself.
Double hip toss. Measuring him here. Maybe time for a field goal kick, and yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to a quick commercial. We'll be right back. We are back. Trainwreck still in the ring, this time with both members of Student Body. Connor with the up and over attempt. Now he's carrying, oh, wait a second.
German suplex into a Samoan drop, much to the chagrin of the Student Body. Trainwreck laying them both out. And I'm not sure who has the advantage here, Clemson.
Well, Trainwreck's surely going to need to make a tag. I'd suggest that maybe Student Body's at the disadvantage unless they can regroup quicker. You're going to wonder how much gas is left in the tank of Trainwreck, having already competed here once tonight. Devin Blaze on the outside, waiting anxiously for that tag.
And there it is, Devin Blaze going to the top rope. Off the buckle.
Gonna fly.
2 single leg drops, knocking both members of the Student Body on their back. Blazinator firing up.
Side kick. Turns him around. Knee lift. Polish hammer.
There's no easy way to take that, folks.
One face wash. Barrels over the official, Justin. The trifecta connecting. Blaze on fire. What's he signaling for here? Connor trying to fight out of it. Sends him into Trainwreck.
Powerbomb into varsity.
Again, in the corner they go. The Tetrahydra Cannonball. I think it's all over but the shouting here.
And the folks at ringside clearly into this matchup. It's been of a great pace so far. A lot of back and forth. Trainwreck using his size very much to his advantage here.
DDT. The juice. Mocking JT Dunn. Hits Jack Connor with the juice. Sending a message.
How about that, JT, huh? You like that shit? I'll see you April 13th, baby.
I'd say stay focused, Trainwreck. We've got a roll up here. And sure enough, the schoolboys pull off the victory.
Well, there you have it. Student Body picking up the win. Devin Blaze, not really sure what to make of it here. Well, apparently Devin Blaze not too thrilled that Tommy Trainwreck turned his back on the action for a second there. Perhaps Trainwreck looking to the future, and JT Dunn took his eye off the prize here tonight.
And that's all it takes is a split second, ladies and gentlemen. Folks, I want to thank you personally. My name's Bobby Rossi. I'm alongside Clemson Cadiddlehopper. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to look us up on the interwebs, youtube.com/the RWA Forever.